Good afternoon, children. This is my fourth video on our lesson Digestion and Absorption. In the previous video, I discussed about the structure of the digestive organs, that is, under the headings mouth, vestibule, oral or the buccal cavity, including palate, tongue, lingual papillae, taste buds, and the teeth. Then continuing with pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Till here I had discussed with the help of the diagrams in the system. This diagram I gave you as a homework to be done because this has been mentioned as a part of the council syllabus. You should be able to draw. Today's topic to start will be digestive glands. And before I begin, there is another diagram, children. Once again, I gave you to draw another very important one, can be asked directly for a question comprising of 4 to 5 marks, like TS of alimentary canal or gut. The labeling that I have crossed, you may leave it because this histology part is not in your course. So all the 4 layers, they have to be clearly shown and labeled. So let us start with the digestive glands today. Digestive glands, there are 5 types and they secrete the digestive juices for the digestion of food. Let us begin one by one. The first is salivary glands, 3 types: parotid, sublingual and submaxillary. Look at this diagram. Parotid glands, these are the largest salivary glands situated in front of the ears. And if you remember the word mumps, the disease that is commonly seen in young children, it is the infection that causes swelling and pain of the same parotid glands. The duct or the opening of the parotid gland, it is called as the parotid duct or Stenson's duct, and this opens into the vestibule, that is the region or space between lips and cheek. The second type of salivary gland, we call it as the sublingual. The term sublingual gland, sub means below and lingua means tongue. As you can see, this is present below the tongue, right? And the duct of sublingual gland here, it is called as the duct of Rivinus, right? Then the third type of salivary gland, submaxillary. That is, this is located below the maxilla or the teeth, that is in the lower jaw. And here the duct is called as the Wharton's duct. Now, what is common in all the 3 types of salivary glands is that they all together secrete saliva. Saliva contains lysosomal that secretes gastric lipase and gastric amylase. Right? So this is the function of the first type of cells, that is chief or the peptic or zymogen cells. Coming to the second type of cells found in gastric glands, we call them as oxyntic or parietal cells. Now they secrete two things. Number one, dilute HCl. All of us know stomach secretes dilute HCl, and this is the same secreted by oxyntic cells. Another substance secreted is Cassell's intrinsic factor, which helps in the absorption of vitamin B12. Third type of cells found in the gastric glands we call as goblet cells, GOBLET, goblet cells or mucus secreting cells, and they secrete mucus. As I already told you, the fourth and fifth types, they are not shown in the diagram, but they are present, right? So argentaffin cells, they secrete a substance we call as serotonin, which is a vasoconstrictor. That means it stimulates the constriction of the smooth muscles. And the last type is what we call as the endocrine cells or the gastrin cells or G cells. They secrete a substance or a hormone, we can say gastrin. You must have heard of gastrin. This stimulates the secretion of enzymes and HCl from gastric glands. So that's all about the second category of glands called as gastric glands. Coming to the third is intestinal glands. As the name tells, they are present in the small intestine and again the mucosa of small intestine. Here these were present in the mucosa of stomach, but these are present in the mucosa of small intestine between the villi. Alright, villus, if you remember, the finger-shaped structure, right? So between two villi they are found. Now they are of two types, crypts of Lieberkühn and Brunner's gland. Now the term crypts actually mean depression or a pit. So here you can see crypt is a structure or a depression or a pit kind of structure found here. So what are crypts of Lieberkühn? These are multicellular, simple and straight tubular glands. They are simple, straight tubular glands and they are present throughout the small intestine mucosa. They have basically four types of cells. If you can see the dark ones, Paneth cells, and the Paneth cells, they secrete antimicrobial agents. That means if at all any germs are present in the small intestine, they will be killed. The second, same name, argentaffin cells, that was present here in the gastrin. Same cells present in the crypts of Lieberkühn also, and they function same ways, that is they secrete the serotonin, the vasoconstrictor. Once again the third type, goblet cells, see here also they were also present in the stomach, the gastric gland, and here the intestinal gland also they are present. You can see the goblet cells, function is same, they secrete mucus. And the last, enzyme secreting cells that produce enzymes of intestinal juice, right? The second part of intestinal glands or the cells here, we call them as glands called Brunner's gland. Alright, they are compound in nature. Here these Brunner's glands are compound and they secrete an alkaline enzyme free watery solution. So what they secrete is an alkaline solution and that is totally enzyme free. What is the juice of small intestine or the intestinal juice called as? It is also called as the succus entericus. I'll write this. The term is SUCCUS, succus entericus or intestinal juice. Right, so these terms should be clear, children. The alkaline secretion here has a pH of 7.8 to 8.3. So that means this is more than 7 and naturally it is alkaline. So this contains many enzymes that we have to study later in the digestive part of physiological reactions. So once again children, today I am discussing mainly the salivary glands, the digestive glands. I started with salivary, then I finished with the discussion of gastric glands and intestinal glands. Moving to the next digestive gland is liver. Liver, all of us know, looks like this. It is one of the largest, rather, the glands, of all the glands, this is the largest, 1.5 kilograms in weight, and it has 4 lobes. Only 2 can be seen, but there are actually 4 lobes present. The right lobe, now this is on your left side, but of the body that you are studying, children, this is the right side. So this is the right lobe of liver, this is the left lobe. The right is much larger than the left lobe, and this is divided by a partition called as falciform ligament, right? The other 2 types of lobes, which are very small, we call them as quadrate and caudate. Once again, children, liver, I told you, the largest gland found in the body, 1.5 kilogram in weight, a small left lobe and a much larger right lobe, but the other 2 lobes, which are very small, called as quadrate and the caudate. The partition between right and left lobes is because of falciform ligament. Now, under liver, there is present a small structure called as gallbladder. You can see this. So, if liver secretes a secretion called bile, then this gland called as gallbladder has the only function of storage of bile. And this joining, that means a duct starts from the liver, a duct begins from the gallbladder, they two join, and how they together join the pancreatic duct, you will understand by this diagram. See this. This is the gallbladder. Now this I have made the liver specially in red pen. You may just understand. Gallbladder is located below the liver. Liver secretes a digestive secretion called bile. The bile flows down by the ducts from the liver, and this, if it is not required just now, it will be stored in the gallbladder. Another duct what starts from the gallbladder, it's called as the cystic duct. This is the cystic duct, and these are the ducts from the liver. Now the duct from gallbladder, that is cystic, plus the liver ducts, they join up for some region, and we call them as the common bile duct. So what is common bile duct? It is the joining part of the duct, that is cystic, and from the liver. Then it travels for some distance and it joins with the duct of the pancreatic gland or the pancreas, and this is called as the pancreatic duct. So see the 2 roads joining here, and for a very small region, that is only this region, this is what is common. So finally, one tube is opening into the duodenum. So this duodenum, what is opening here, it is bringing the duct from the liver and the gallbladder, they joined as the common bile duct, and the common bile duct joined with the pancreatic duct to form the hepatopancreatic duct. So finally, bile plus the pancreatic juice together descends into the duodenum. So this is what is all about the liver. Moving to the next digestive gland is pancreas. Here, pancreas, where it is located, again if you see the diagram here, this is pancreas, which is located into the U of the duodenum, and it is by shape, if you say, this is a diffused leaf-shaped gland. Alright, the length is some 16 centimeter, the breadth is 2.5 centimeter, and the weight is only 60 grams. Pancreas, it looks like a flat diffused leaf-shaped gland. There are 2 types of functions when we talk of pancreas, right? The first function we'll call under the exocrine part. Exocrine means the part that is comprising of the pancreatic juice. Remember children, exo means the type of gland which has a duct. So when we talk of pancreas having the pancreatic duct, right, this part will be called as the exocrine. So through the pancreatic duct, what is coming down? It is the pancreatic juice. But when I say endocrine part of this, right, it means certain scattered number of cells into the pancreas, which looks like groups of floating islands in an ocean. And the cells we call as islets of Langerhans. So let us begin one by one. The pancreatic juice, when we talk, that is from the pancreatic exocrine part, in 1 day's production into an adult, it is some 500 to 800 milliliters of pancreatic juice. This is an alkaline juice having pH 7.5 to 8.5 and it contains sodium bicarbonate. The enzymes present are trypsinogen, which is an inactive form of trypsin. Remember, all the enzymes having the suffix ogen means they are inactive. So trypsinogen is the inactive trypsin. The second is chymotrypsinogen, which is inactive chymotrypsin. And the third is procarboxypeptidase, which is an inactive form of carboxypeptidase. So these were the inactive enzymes present in pancreatic juice. So along with inactive enzymes, it also has some active enzymes like pancreatic alpha amylase, right? This you can see they help in digestion of starch. All right. Then pancreatic lipase, it helps in the digestion of fats, and then DNase and RNase, which help in the digestion of nucleic acids. So once again, the pancreatic juice has some inactive enzymes and some of the active enzymes that they help in digestion. Coming to the endocrine part. Endocrine part, as I told you, is represented by certain groups of cells. We call them as islets of Langerhans, and they are of 4 types. The alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells, and PP or F cells. PP means pancreatic polypeptidase or F cells. So alpha cells, they produce the hormone glucagon. What is the function of glucagon? It converts glycogen to glucose in the liver, and in doing so it raises the glucose or the sugar level, right? It elevates the blood sugar level. Second type is just the opposite. Beta cells, they secrete insulin, and this will work just opposite this. That is, in the liver, it will work in an opposite manner, that is, convert glucose into glycogen. In other words, decrease the glucose level or the sugar level. The deficiency of insulin, we know it is called as diabetes. The third is delta cells. They secrete somatostatin hormone, which inhibits or stops the secretion of glucagon and insulin. So if this is secreted, the other 2 hormones will be stopped, right, in production. And finally, the pancreatic polypeptidase, that's a short form, PP cells or F cells, they secrete a hormone which inhibits the secretion of pancreatic juice. So if this is coming inside, then the entire pancreatic juice will be stopped to be produced. So this is all about the endocrine part of pancreas. So as I said, children, today's part will be only talking about the gastric glands here. So I have discussed in today's video about salivary glands, the 3 types, then gastric glands, the 5 types, intestinal glands, the 2 types, that is crypts of Lieberkühn and Brunner's gland, liver and pancreas. In my next video, now we will start with the process of digestion. So I'll request you to please read everything what I have explained, because there are no notes to write. Not everything can be written, children. So I'm basically giving you point wise 2 pages, very simple ones. Yes, they will help you diagrammatically. This is 1 page, the details of these glands, and yes, the details of pancreas. These I'll send you, you may jot down. But the rest of the things, children, because next video will be the main one to understand the process of digestion, I'll personally request you start reading from page number 16.11. Here I started with the digestive glands, and you should be able to understand it. If not, you can ask in any queries. All right, read everything what is given. And in the next video, this histology part, children, we will not do. It's clearly said in the syllabus that you don't have to study. So till here you will study physiology, that is the actual process of digestion. I'll start in my next video. That's all for just now, children. I think any queries, please ask anytime. Thank you.